Alrighty, guys. Woo! Let's go. Boom! So, this is going to be a video on VeChain, which I think is a really awesome cryptocurrency. And VeChain is actually part of a block system, VeChain Thor. There's two coins. One's inflationary, one's deflationary, and it uses a proof of authority system as a consensus protocol. Real smart the way that it's set up. It's a little bit different than Cardano and Ethereum. But we're going to talk a little bit about the chart and where this could be going. A bit of a reason on why it moves so much with news, because this blockchain system is centered around bringing in new businesses. It's enterprise. It's going out there in real world applications for it, using the blockchain system for supply chain management and tracking, and it's pretty genius. But let's take a quick look into the chart here. Woo! Alright, so you can see here, I got the 4-hour candles turned on, and right now we're sitting right at 20 cents. And it's being kind of the average for, I don't know, about the last week to 2 weeks. This time range right here, where I've got highlighted, shows from April 14th to April 25th. And it shows basically in this time frame us spiking up quite a bit and coming back down to a very similar level. Now, why did I highlight this time frame? Well, this was the exact time frame for the most part of the worst of Bitcoin's kind of flash crash that we had recently. And I've got that highlighted here. So we can see here on Bitcoin's chart, the same date range, April 14th to April 25th. This was, like I mentioned, that kind of flash crash where Bitcoin went from pretty much its all-times high there at 64,000 all the way down to below 50,000. It's about a 23% drop. So that same time range we saw for the VeChain chart, negative 1%, and it was still going up for half of that. It was going up like this, and then it came back down to the same level. So a lot of altcoins are very tied to Bitcoin, and VeChain doesn't follow that trend as much as other coins. And why is that, you might ask? Well, a big part of that is that VeChain is driven a lot in its price by the new companies it's been acquiring. That's kind of what started that last ramp up, is they started to acquire some other companies, and then everyone wanted to get on board. They were scared they were going to miss out on some big gains, and so they started to jump in, and it ramped way up, which then of course caused it to come back down a bit and correct. So as I mentioned, it came way up, and then it corrected a little bit as everyone was scared about missing out, and then it sold off a little bit as it reached those highs, supply and demand. And now we've been trading in this little bit of a channel again, as a lot of these cryptos do. And you can see there seems to be a slight increase in the slope of this channel. We're kind of coming up through the centers upwards slightly, If we take a look here, we're testing kind of resistance at right about 22 cents as a high lately, and lows in this initial, just recent from a few days, around 18 cents, and then a lower level of support is found right around 16 cents, and that's been touched 3 times in the past month or so. So, we could see it come back down and touch this 16 cents again. That's a possibility. Another likelihood is that it kind of bounces in this channel until news is announced, more companies, which I think is bound to happen. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. If it breaks through this level of resistance right here from some of these companies, we could see some of a similar run-up that happened previously and have it ramp way up and then correct a little bit again and take the next step up. So pretty exciting. Lots of stuff coming up here for VeChain. Let's see. Automobile passport solution. Interesting idea, unique idea, cool for tracking, maintenance history on a vehicle, where it's been, just the entire life cycle of the car. You could see it being useful for rental car companies, and then when they sell vehicles off, the third-party companies can look at a lot of that data. In general, though, they're just total supply chain solutions are awesome. There's going to be a lot of smaller companies that are going to want to market themselves more to other and build themselves by saying, we're using blockchain technology. We're using VeChain. We're on the VeChain Thor blockchain. And new opportunities can be found from it. You can contact a consultant right here and get started. They got Internet of Things devices that they can implement into your warehouse, VeChain ID with those devices, and the data is collected on their database. Then it can be tracked and analyzed much more efficiently. So not only are they into the supply chain management system for companies, but they're going to be getting into NFTs and the NFT ecosystem. This is news from just a few days ago that they were given a $1 million grant to fund developers and people to develop and contribute to the VeChain Thor regarding decentralized applications and other things for the NFT space, which is awesome. So if you're a developer and you're smarter than me, you can code something and you can apply and see if you can get your program or your presentation funded. You could start a business. Pretty exciting. Another big thing seen on CryptoCal here for VET is the announcement of Sync 2 coming at some time in Q2 this year. And, we're in Q2 right now, so and it could be coming at any point. So they're announcing, VeChain Sync 2. This is basically will allow a more seamless user experience across all platforms because it doesn't force you to use a certain web browser or a certain application, iOS or Android or whatnot. Their wallet will work across all, and it will make it easier so that you don't have to see the gas fees or transfer gas fees or do as much time spending that. It's done more in the background on it. So it's a much more better user interface. And this, they're saying, as a truly seamless DApp experience, will be a first for the entire blockchain industry. So that's big. A quick look here, the market cap is right about at 13 billion for VeChain. Just to give you an idea, companies around that market cap, some you might recognize, a big one, the stock market that I was into at one point there, Plug Power, charging systems for electric vehicles. Tapestry, another good one. GoDaddy, they host websites and whatnot. Gives you an idea of the space. I mean, they're a smaller company. You don't recognize as many of these businesses, hotels, Steel Dynamics. So it shows what the kind of size company we're looking at, what kind of size crypto they are right now. So that's what I got for VeChain. This was a quicker video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, please subscribe. More to come. Peace out.